Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Monday, January 22nd, 2024 Condo Review Board meeting. Pursuant to Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Condominium Review Board will be conducted via remote participation. We will post an audio recording, audio-video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of these proceedings as soon as possible following the meeting on the City of Somerville website and local cable access government channels. On that note, I will now call this meeting to order. Again, this is the condo review meeting, Monday, January 22nd, 2024. First item of business for the board is the approval of the 2024 meeting dates and deadline schedule.
Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
if I can interject, we've got to take roll first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So if we can please conduct a roll call vote to ensure that we have a quorum and allow us to then proceed to calling the meeting to order.
Okay. Chair Zasloff.
Present.
Vice Chair Byrne.
Here.
Board Member Champion.
Present.
Board Member Simeon.
Present.
Board Member Solis. Board Member Solis. Board Member Solis is absent with 4 in attendance. We have a quorum.
All right. Thank you very much. I will now call the meeting to order, dated Monday, January 22nd, 2024. First item of business for the board is the approval of the 2024 meeting dates and deadline schedule.
Yes. So the board had previously approved meeting dates and deadline schedules back at the November 2023 meeting, but it's come to my attention that the dates, some of them were incorrect. So I wanted to update them so that we could get them posted online. So can everyone see my screen with the table with the new dates?
I do not see the new dates.
You don't see? Okay, give me one moment. Let me just here. Okay, how about now?
Yep, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So for attendees, to make note, the dates for March, April, June, July, I believe September and November all changed for the meeting date. And then all of the non-tenanted and formally tenanted application dates changed. So unfortunately, the previously approved schedule, all of these dates were a week earlier than what we normally require of applicants. So this is just going back to the practice of these applications being due the week prior to the board meeting, still at noon on that Monday, or Tuesday if a Monday falls on a holiday. So just to note that.
Okay. I will open the floor for discussion. If any board members have any comments regarding the date changes. Is everyone fine with it? I think it's pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
All right. On that note, I'd like to make a motion for the board to vote on the approval, the revised proposed CRB 2024 meeting dates and deadlines.
Okay, so this is a vote to approve the revised 2024 meeting dates and deadlines. Chair Zasloff.
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne.
Yes.
Board Member Champion.
Yes.
Board Member Simeon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving along through the agenda, next item of business will be the applications for final courtesy permits, with the first application from the board this evening, the application at 47 Oak Street, represented by attorney John Mascarelli. And they are seeking a final conversion permit for Unit A and Unit B at 47 Oak Street.
Attorney Masterelli, you've been unmuted.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you. Can you please state your name for the record and give us a brief overview of
Do you want to
your
do them in
application?
do you want to do one first, Chairman? Or
Yeah, let's do 47 Oak Street first, and then we will vote on that and then move on to the 49 Oak Street.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Honorable Board. This petition is for a condo conversion with an address of 47 Oak Street. The premises was family owned, was never tenanted during the history of the property. And when my client had purchased it, we did provide an affidavit as well as evidence of a residential tax exemption to the board indicating that the property was never tenanted. My client, RJM Development LLC, is seeking the approval for 2 condo conversions on this property with the exemption of it never being tenanted.
All right, thank you very much for that clarification. I will now open the make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any board members have any comments or questions for Attorney Mascarelli regarding 47 Oak Street and units A and B. Seeing there's no discussion, I will close the floor for board discussion and make a motion to open the public commenting period. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application at 47 Oak Street for the addition of Unit A and Unit B, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
Right, thank you. Public commenting period is now closed for 47 Oak Street. Seeing that this is straightforward and never tenanted, it's more of a clerical correction at this point. I'm fine with going to vote on this. So at this time, I would like to make a motion for the board to vote on a final conversion permit for Unit A and Unit B at 47 Oak Street. We can please conduct a roll call vote.
Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for Unit A and Unit B at 47 Oak Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right, thank you. Moving along, we have the application of RJM Development LLC, Richard McGonigal, seeking that final conversion permit for Unit A and Unit B at 49 Oak Street, again represented by Attorney John Mascarelli. Attorney Mascarelli, if you can just walk us through the application.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman. Again, this was a single family home that designated by the city of Somerville. We are seeking approval of a conversion for 2 units for 49 Oak Street. Similar to 47 Oak Street, that this was a family-owned property, never tenanted, did provide an affidavit as well as evidence of residential tax exemption that this property was always a family home and never tenanted. So we are seeking a full conversion for both units, please.
All right, thank you very much. I will now make a motion to open the floor for board discussion in regards to 49 Oak Street. Any board members have any questions or comments for the attorney representing the application this evening? Seeing there's no discussion, I will now move to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commenting. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application 49 Oak Street for units A and units B, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, thank you. Public commenting period is closed. Seeing that the application is in good standing, the affidavit has been provided. It's been owner occupied for its entirety. At this time, I'm going to make a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permit for Unit A and Unit B located at 49 Oak Street.
Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for Unit A and Unit B at 49 Oak Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.
You too, Attorney. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving along in the agenda, the next application in front of the board is the application of 7-9-11 Aldersea Street, who is seeking a final conversion permit for Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 at 7-9-11 Aldersea Street, and they're represented by Attorney Ann Vigorito.
Good evening, Chairman Zasloff, rest of the Condo Review Board, Attorney Ann Vigorito, 424 Broadway, Somerville, Massachusetts. I know this was continued from last month. I believe there was a question regarding the relocation fees. My office did submit emails to Morena as well as Cecilia, and there was one, the latest one was January 19th of this year, and then last year, I believe it was December 20th, there was a copy of the checks that were paid for relocation fees. Those were checks from, March of 2022. So, I do know everything else, was in order at the last hearing, so I don't want to regurgitate unless it's necessary, but hoping that the board is comfortable with the information provided, and if I can answer any further questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Attorney Vigorito. At this time, I will motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any board members have any questions or comments for Attorney Vigorito regarding the application of 7-9-11 Aldersea Street. Vice Chair Byrne, you have the floor.
Thank you. I'm not sure that I saw everything, so was concerned about whether or not all of the former tenants had received their moving fees.
Hi, this is Attorney Vigorito. So there were copies of checks, relocation fees paid to the tenants. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 checks. One dated on March 15th of 2022 to Rachel Dushman, March 15th of 2022, paid to Eliza Guzman, March 15th of 2022, paid to Darren Perucci, March 23rd.
Thank you very much. I did not see this document, so thank you.
Apology. And I didn't want to, go on and butcher people's names. I sometimes do that. But as long as you can see it, I'm much more of a visual person myself. So I will mute myself. If you have any other questions, just let me know.
Any other board members have any comments or questions for Attorney Vigorito?
Oh,
All right. Seeing that everything looks to be in good standing, that were concerns at the last meeting, I will now close the floor for board discussion, open the floor, make a motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience has any questions or concerns and would like to speak in favor or against the application for 7-9-11 Aldersea Street, now is the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
Thank you. Public commenting period is now closed. So on that note, with the additional questions answered from last week and all the other outstanding application needs submitted at this time for 7-9-11 Aldersea Street. I'm fine with making a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 located at 7-9-11 Aldersea Street. We can please conduct a roll call vote.
Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3 at 7-9-11 Aldersea Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of the Condo Review Board. I also have the next one, so I will mute myself, and when you're ready, I will speak.
All right, on that note, we will move to the next application, which is the application Winter Hill Realty Trust, who is seeking a final conversion permit for Unit 1 and Unit 2 at 8-8A Melvin Street, and they are being represented by Attorney Vigorito.
Yes, thank you once again, Attorney Ian Vigorito, 424 Broadway, Somerville. Here this evening regarding Winter Hill Realty Trust, Santel Kumar, seeking permits for 8-8A Melvin Street, which is units 1 and 2. They were before the board back in December of 2020. And since that time, the master deed has been forwarded for approvals from to the staff, as well as the structural engineer's report. So at this time, we would be seeking the permits to be issued in the finality. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now motion open the floor for board discussion. Any board members have any comments or questions for the representative? Seeing no questions or comments, I will now close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application, the final conversion permit for Unit 1 and Unit 2 at 8-8A Melvin Street, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, thank you. With no public commenting period is now closed. And on that note, we've received the final 2 outstanding documents from the original conditional approval, which were the master deed and architecture's report. At this time, all outstanding items have been submitted and approved. And I will now make a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permits for units 1 and Unit 2 at 8-8A Melvin Street.
Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for Unit 1 and Unit 2 at 8-8A Melvin Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much, Attorney.
Thank you. See you shortly.
Moving along, the last application in front of the board for the final permitting is the application of 8 Berkeley Street LLC, and they're seeking a final conversion permit for Unit 1 and a courtesy permit for Unit 2 at 8 Berkeley Street, and they're represented by Attorney Mark Sheehan.
Yes, good evening. Mark Sheehan of Adam Dash and Associates, attorney for 8 Berkeley Street LLC of 8 Berkeley Street. My client is seeking a final conversion permit for Unit 1 and a courtesy permit for Unit 2 of this multifamily residence. My client has submitted the remaining 2 items required by the board, which were a master deed and a property condition report. So now the board has a complete application. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, on that note, motion open the floor for board discussion. If anyone on the board has any comments or questions for the representative regarding the final conversion permit for Unit 1 and the courtesy permit for Unit 2 located at 8 Berkeley Street. Seeing there's no discussion, motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the public commenting period. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the final conversion permit in front of the board this evening for units 1 and the courtesy permit for unit 2 at 8 Berkeley Street, now is the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right. Public commenting period is now closed. With the 2 outstanding documents submitted at this time, the master deed and architectural report, we now have a completed application, and I'm prepared to make a motion for the board to vote on that final conversion permit for unit 1 and a courtesy permit for unit 2 located at 8 Berkeley Street. If we can please conduct a roll call vote.
Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for unit 1 and a courtesy permit for unit 2 at 8 Berkeley Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
the motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. Moving along through the agenda, we are now on to the preliminary condo conversion permits. And the first application from the board is the application of Mark Phoebe, seeking a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 1, unit 2, and a preliminary rental conversion permit for unit 3, located at 15 Edmund Street. And they are represented again by attorney Mark Sheehan.
Yes, Mark Sheen of Adam Dash and Associates, attorney for Mark Febby of 15 Edmund Street. My client is seeking a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for units 1 and 2 and a rental conversion permit for unit 3 of this multifamily residence. My client and his family occupy units 1 and 2 of this property, and they will continue to do so after receiving the preliminary and final permit. Unit 3 is currently vacant, and prior to that, it was rented to tenants who voluntarily vacated the property because they purchased a home. I've also submitted an affidavit from those former tenants that they provided their full support to the owner of the property. They were very close. We have submitted the complete application, paid final water bill, certificate of good standing, proof of owner occupancy, and a bank check payable to the city of Somerville for $1,800. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. Anyone on the board who would like to comment or ask a question to the attorney representing 15 Edmund Street? And there's no discussion amongst the board. Motion to close the floor.
Sorry, if I may.
Oh, I'm
Sorry, no, I don't know how to interject since I'm not on the board, but I did have a clarifying question for the attorney if I, through the chair, if I may.
The floor is yours.
Attorney Sheehan, you said that the family was going to continue living on the property. They're selling unit 3 though, right? The one with the preliminary.
Yes, correct. They
I
will
understand they've got to sell that one. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. But units 1 and 2, they will continue to reside in.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the clarification.
Yep, of course.
All right. Thank you. Motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the preliminary non-rental conversion permits for units 1 and 2 and the preliminary rental conversion permits for unit 3 located at 15 Edmund Street, now is the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, public commenting period is closed. In reviewing the application this evening, we have the certificate of good standing submitted. We have the paid water bill. We have the quitclaim deed. And we have a check in the amount of $1,800 to cover the 3 units in question. At this time, as the attorney stated, they have not submitted the master deed or engineer's report. So at this time, I would make a motion for the board to vote on a conditional approval for the non-rental conversion permit for the units 1 and 2 and a preliminary rental conversion permit for unit 3 at 15 Edmund Street on the condition that the master deed and engineer's report submitted at a future date to city staff.
Okay, this is a vote for a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit 1 and Unit 2, and a preliminary rental conversion permit for Unit 3 at 15 Edmund Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
the motion passes.
Thank you. Moving along through the agenda, the next application from the board is the application of Select Realty Trust, who's seeking a preliminary rental conversion permit for units 1 and unit 2 located at 11 Harrison Road, and they are represented by Attorney Vigorito.
Yes, good evening once again, Attorney Ann Vigorito, 424 Broadway, Somerville. Here this evening representing Select Realty Trust request for a preliminary rental conversion permit, and that's for units 1 and 2 at 11 Harrison Road. This evening you have before you a completed application, pages 1 through 10, paid final water bill with a receipt, a certificate of good standing from the city of Somerville, a quick claim deed dated December 11th of 2020, which was subsequently recorded on December 15th of 2020. You also have an owner affidavit, and you have a payment check in the amount of $1,200. The property was purchased vacant and remains vacant to this date. So at this time, we would respectfully request a preliminary rental conversion permit for units 1 and 2 at 11 Harrison Road. We will obviously wait the 1-year tolling period, and you will, in that time period, receive a structural engineer's report and a master deed. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any members of the board would like to speak or ask a question of the representative, now is the time to do so. Seeing there's no board discussion, the floor is now closed. And I will motion to open the public commenting period. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 2 located at 11 Harrison Road.
I don't see any hands.
All right, public commenting period is closed. As the representative described, we have a completed application with owner affidavit. We have the certificate of good standing in hand. We have the water final water bill paid. We have the quitclaim deed, and we have a check in the amount of $1,200 to cover the 2 units in question. This time we are awaiting the master deed and architectural report, which will be submitted at a future date. So I'm prepared to make a motion for the board to vote on a preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and unit 2 located at 11 Harrison Road on the condition that the master deed and engineer's report is submitted to city staff at a future date.
Okay, this is a vote for a preliminary rental conversion permit for Unit 1 and Unit 2 at 11 Harrison Road. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
the motion passes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the last application on this evening's agenda is that of 54 Springfield Street LLC. They're seeking a preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and unit 3 and a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 2 located at 54 Springfield Street. And they are represented again by Attorney Ann Vigorito.
Thank you, Chairman. Attorney Ann Vigorito, 424 Broadway, Somerville. Here this evening representing 54 Springfield LLC, the owner of the property at 54 Springfield Street. This evening we are requesting preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 3, excuse me, and a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 2 at 54 Springfield Street. This evening you do have before you a completed application. You have a prior owner affidavit and proof of residential exemption, a prior tenant contact information sheet, emails to the prior tenants notifying them of the applicant's intent to convert, a quick claim deed dated August 27th of 2023, which was recorded on September 29th of 2023. And then you have another deed dated October 16th of 2023 and recorded on October 27th of 2023. All those three, sorry. Corporate information for 54 Springfield LLC. You have a City of Somerville record showing a credit for the water and sewer, a certificate of good standing from the City of Somerville, as well as a check for the payment of $1,800 for the 3 units. The applicant originally purchased this property on September 29th of 2023 as John J. Mahoney and Jonathan G. Mahoney, their father and son. The property was deeded to the applicant 54 Springfield LLC on October 27th of 2023. The property has been vacant since November 15th of 2023. Units 1 and 3 were previously occupied by tenants. The tenants who resided in Unit 1 voluntarily vacated their unit prior to the sale of the property in approximately late of spring of 2023. The tenants who reside in Unit 3 voluntarily vacated the unit on or about September 15th of 2023. The tenants who resided in Unit 3 repeat. The names and contact info for said tenants are included in the application. Unit 2 was occupied by the prior owner. The owner had vacated the property on or about November 15th of 2023. You have an affidavit from the prior owner and proof of residential exemption are included with this application. So we would respectfully request preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 3 and a non-rental conversion permit for unit 2 at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I will now make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any board members have any comments or questions for the representative?
I do. I know that you said the tenants willingly moved. Were they given moving costs?
No, I do. They vacated prior to the ownership of my client. Oh, well, yes, because the deed I think was recorded on September 29th. I don't know. There was some time conversion, so I can't answer for what the prior owner did. They did sign an affidavit.
Vice Chair Byrne, any follow-up to your first question?
I'm trying. So I know they moved out of the building before your clients signed the sale. But still they were in the building prior to a year before conversion. So they should have gotten my understanding anyways, is that they should have gotten some moving costs covered.
They didn't own the building until after they moved out, though.
Right. But, okay.
And the prior owner, I don't believe had any intent of converting to condos. I think that may have been, I don't, from what I recall from information, from the client, I think they were older owner and they were, proceeding to, some sort of retirement situation. So I don't think their intent was never to convert. They lived there, I think the entire ownership time.
Yeah, I know the former owners. I've met the former owners that owned it, but what I'm concerned about is that there's a year, and tell me, am I wrong about this, Marina? They're in that year before conversion.
So Marina, you have the floor if you.
Thank you. So for former tenants, for the year prior, the protection that they have is that they have a right to be notified of the conversion application being submitted. And that is, the notification is how, basically how we would determine, and by we, I mean me, how staff determines whether or not an intent was formed prior to them vacating. that the owner formed an intent to convert prior to the tenant vacating. If the owner formed an intent prior to the tenant vacating, then the tenant would have the other rights under the ordinance, including the relocation. However, if they, which is what appears happened in this case, if the tenants vacated voluntarily, the property was then sold, and then later on down the line, this new owner has decided to convert, then those tenants don't get the relocation, but they do get notified both by the new owner and by staff, hey, the conversion is happening. And that's their opportunity to sort of let us know if anything was amiss with how they vacated the property or anything like that.
Vice Chair Byrne.
Thank you for that clarification.
All right, thank you, Morena. I think that helped all of us. Any other follow-up questions from any other board members for Attorney Vigorito?
No, Chairman.
All right, seeing there are no other comments or questions from the board, I will now move to close the floor and make a motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 3 and the preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 2 located at 54 Springfield Street, now it's the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, thank you. Public commenting period is now closed. In reviewing the application, we have the completed application with the prior owner affidavit. We have the certificate good standing. We have the final, the water bill paid. We have the quitclaim deed too, and then we have a check in the amount of $1,800 to cover the 3 units in question. At this time, we are still awaiting the master deed and engineer architect's report, which would make this a conditional a vote for approval. And at this time, I'm prepared to make a motion for the board to vote on a preliminary rental conversion permit for units 1 and unit 3 and a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 2 located at 54 Springfield Street on the condition that the master deed and engineer's report is submitted to city staff at a future date.
Okay, this is a vote for a preliminary rental conversion permit for unit 1 and unit 3 and a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 2 at 54 Springfield Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Champion,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
the motion passes.
Thank you, members of the Condo Review Board, and thank you, Morena. Good to have you back. Have a great night.
Yes, thank you. And it is nice to have Morena back. Thank you. We missed you.
Yes. Yes.
City staff filled in honorably for you, but you know, it's nice to have you back. So you definitely missed.
Nice to be back. Thank you.
On that note, I would like to thank everyone, all the attorneys and representatives and the board for bearing with me as I tried to power through this meeting as I'm under the weather. So
Oh.
woke up just to chair this meeing. So we made it. And on that note, motion to
I
adjourn.
appreciate that very much, Zach.
On that note, motion to adjourn. Can I get a second?
I second it.
All right, everyone have a great night. Thank you.
Feel better.
Thanks. Feel better.
Thank you. Feel better. Bye.
Better.